Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Clueless to Conscious with
Hello.
Lauren and Shaadi.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go again. Today, we're going to be talking about our experience at Conscious Expo and maybe some other things here and there. Conscious Life Expo.
Conscious Life.
Yeah, we went. So basically, if you guys don't know, Conscious Life Expo is this kind of like, it's kind of like a spiritual type expo where a bunch of different vendors come and they have like these booths set up and they basically just
I think that's what it's yeah, exactly. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it says it is. It's questionable whether that's really what it is.
Yeah,
But,
so you might click
yeah.
you might have clicked on this video and thought like, oh, this might be boring. It's just like a review of like an expo. But like no, this was our experience was very interesting to say the least. So that's why we were like, let's talk about it on our podcast. But yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. So like it's like different I don't want to say like companies, brands,
Yeah.
collectives. I don't even know.
Yeah,
Just different
all of those
people and places, things have a booth and they basically like selling products or services or different mindsets. I don't know. Anyways,
well, that's like one side. One side of it is like the booths and stuff, which I think is the more questionable side of it. The other side of it is they have like speakers and stuff like that, which you can go watch, which I think that part is the more like, I don't want to say valuable, but like meaningful part. Yeah, the booths, some of them were kind of cool. Some of them were interesting.
Yeah, because when you think about Conscious Life, so it's called Conscious Life Expo, and that can mean so many different things. So there was like they had like someone there that we talked to that has a retreat house in Malibu, but they also have like therapy services and like yoga and like meditation and stuff. And then like another booth had like crystals and how that would benefit you. The other one had like those little shaky thingies for lymphatic drainage.
Yeah, the chi machine.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's what it's called.
I don't know if that's what it's technically called, but that's what I
like that though.
I've heard.
Chi machine. And then they also had like some vegan eateries. We had tried some mushroom coffee, so it's like a wide range of things.
There's a lot.
It's just like so many different things. There was also like supplements and like vitamins and stuff to help with like certain ailments and all that stuff. So there was a wide range of different booths there and vendors. So basically we got there.
Well, first of all, it's super overwhelming, honestly.
Yeah, let's just start with that.
As soon as we walked in, I was kind of like, whoa, I don't even know what to do with this. And honestly, even before we walked in, I was kind of like already had mixed feelings about it because I just didn't know what some of these things necessarily even had to do with consciousness. Like I felt like I was just going to be sold stuff, which I mean they might say is related to consciousness, but like in my opinion of what consciousness is, like I don't need that crystal or that book for my spiritual ascension, you know.
It's like the 3D version of like 5D. It's literally like, let's sell you on all this shit that you really don't need, but
you
like
don't need. Some of it's cool
and like cool and fun.
Some of it's cool and fun.
Yeah,
but like
I'm
you
not
don't need
it.
that.
Yeah, exactly. Like you don't really need. Yeah, you don't need that. But yeah, I think we should start from the beginning. $50 for parking. But I got it validated, so it was fine. But oh my god, walking in, I literally was like, oh shit, what did I get myself into? Because it was super overwhelming. There was I feel like there was thousands of people there, or maybe just because it was a small space.
Yeah, honestly, I have no clue. I can't like tell stuff like that.
Yeah, I can't really either. There could have been,
but there were a lot
50.
of people.
I felt like there was thousands. I would say, yeah, there was thousands for sure.
Probably.
Yeah. Because it's in a hotel, so there was different. It literally bled into like the lobby. There was level 1, level 2, and then I get there, and I actually like immediately told the person that I was picking up my ticket from at wall call. I was like, "This is really overwhelming. Like, what the hell?" She's like, "Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of people." And so then. And then like we walked in and yeah, I think like we were both like, whoa.
Yeah, and then I think we walked into the room and then we walked back out and then we're like, wait, let's just maybe we took a sec. We actually paused and like centered ourselves. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
Because we're like, this already feels like a lot. We're just gonna pause and close our eyes, standing here for a second.
Yeah. I forgot about that. That was a good idea.
Yeah, recenter ourselves, and then we started walking around a little bit and seeing what was up.
So the first one that we went to, God, I wish I had those pamphlets that I can give a little bit more descriptors to. But whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
It's not like I'm trying to. It's not like we're promoting them.
We're not advertising.
We're not advertising. So, but I'm like, wait, is this talking shit?
No, I don't think so, because you really liked that.
I liked them. Yeah. I liked them. Okay, I liked them. So we got to the literally the first booth that we went to was this kind of like, it was like this pyramid shape that I think like was made out of some. I think it was copper. I'm not sure. It was
I'm not sure, but it was.
Like, electrical.
Yeah, I think the smaller things that they had were copper, but that was like a pretty big structure.
Yeah,
right.
There was like
so
this
I
big
just don't
structure.
know. I just don't know.
I don't know either. But there was this big structure, that Shaadi and I we sat inside of it, and we listened to the headphones that they had that had just like this meditation, and then we like held on to these like crystals that were connected to the structure.
Yeah,
it was basically like
we kind of got plugged into a battery.
Yeah, like that's basically like how I understood it. Just looking at the structure was like, this is a battery, like a makeshift battery that was connected through
inserted into
crystals.
This circuit.
Yes, yeah, like a circuit. And we sat there, and when we first walked up, there was like this woman there who was like deep in it. She was. So I was like, ooh, I want to do what she's doing. And then so me and Shaadi both like sat on the chair, and we were like holding these crystals, and yeah, it was like really crazy. Like I feel kind of crazy. I feel crazy, but I felt literally like I was being charged. I feel like also because I've told you like the past couple of weeks, like my energy has been like super low. And so maybe that's why it was so much more noticeable to me, because I just felt like charged. Maybe. I literally felt like a battery was charging me up. So
yeah, and that's cool. What it was supposed to move your energy. And she, like the lady that I spoke to before I sat down, she was like, if you have any blockages, this will help move that energy and stuff like that. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I didn't even know what it was supposed to do. I was just
like, because you sat down right away. I waited a minute. So like, I was like, what's up with this? And she was like, yeah, it's basically just moves your energy, gets your energy flowing. And yeah, so we just sat down for a few minutes, listened to this meditation, and held on to our crystal.
Actually, now that you're saying this, now that we're like talking about this, I think it would be so interesting actually to take like a true course in electromagnetic fields and how that works like within our body. I know that like Joe Dispenza like talks about that obviously, but he like to have a fully like dedicated just like session on learning what that is, I think would be actually really interesting, because sometimes like the science of it, people can resonate a lot more, because they're like, what is physically happening to my body? You know, if you're stepping into, that's why when I just looking at it, again, I didn't really ask any questions, but just looking at it, I was like, oh, this seems like a battery, you know? And then after we were done, we did that for like She said like 10 minutes.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. And she's like, oh, your friend has been doing it for like 10 minutes. And I was like,
I thought
really?
I was literally sitting down for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought maybe I was like maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah, I thought I was
like,
2 minutes, and I was like, I should probably get up. I don't know how long I should sit here.
Yeah, I don't know though. It was strange. If it was actually 10 minutes, I would be really shocked. But that's what she said. But anyways, so after we like got up, and then I was talking to other women about it because I was like, what is this? Oh my God. And then she was like, oh, we have like this little retreat in this whole center in NorCal where and that's where like our leader no, and she didn't say that. She was like, that's where our someone is. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, who is that? Like this, like, you know, this cute little man, like on his face is everywhere on this booth. And she's like, well, he's the second coming of Jesus Christ. And I was like, I love that for you. But it's like funny because from probably an outside perspective, like if anyone were to just tell you that, I mean, you'd be like, okay, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But like they seemed really happy, you know? I was like, good for you.
Yeah.
To be to feel like, yeah, you're in their presence with like an ascended master. Like, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is pretty cool. I would be down to meet this guy. And I was like, oh, okay, great. I like put that to the side. And I was like, oh, okay, great. So, I can like, do you guys like have like a studio where I can come in and just get charged up? Like, I need this energy. And she was like, well, like you can come up, to, yeah, like the
retreat center,
commune. I don't even know
yeah.
what it would be called, retreat center. And then they sold like their own crystals and stuff there. And I was like, no, I want this whole thing like in my room.
Yeah, make me one of those, please.
Yeah, like imagine like you're just being charged, like as you sleep, you're literally just being charged.
Yeah, we'll have one of those over your bed, a bigger one.
Yeah, well, that's probably why people love camping so much, because like when you're out just lying on the earth, you're getting charged. Maybe I should just do that.
Yeah,
every night I just camp in my backyard.
Did you ever do that when you were a kid, camp in your backyard?
Yeah, like a couple times, but not really.
I don't think I ever even did that. But we went we went camping.
We went
camping,
so you didn't really
camping other places.
You didn't get to cosplay camping in your backyard.
Yeah.
But I told you. Wait, this is a side note. I told you that my grandpa, this is just a funny story. He grew up in Mexico, like in a really small town. And so when he like moved to the US and then he had kids and he had this like thriving business and was able to go on like nice vacations and all this stuff. And his kids, my mom and her siblings, were like, we want to go camping. Like all of our friends are going camping. It looks like so much fun. Like, let's go camping. And my grandpa basically said, like, in Spanish, I've been camping my whole life. Like, I grew up camping, like, out, you know, in a not nice area. So, like, why would you want to do, like, what poor people do? And I thought it was so... Oh, I thought it was so funny. Because,
like, I never even associated camping with being poor.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just like silly. It's just like he just wanted, at that point in his life, was like so successful that he just like wanted to basically live a life of luxury, you know? And so he's like, why would you want to go in the dirt, you know? But then obviously for like you and I, we're like, well, wait, it's not about like being like, it's not about roughing it, you know? Like, I don't think that's why people like it. It's about being in nature. Yeah. So it's just silly. That's why it's funny to me.
Yeah, no, it is. It's funny.
Yeah. And which was also the reason why I don't think I ever grew up going camping.
Yeah.
I think I went like once, and then with like my family. But now I'm like, oh, I want to go camping. That would be fun. Okay, back to
the conscious life. Yeah, so that was the first booth that we visited. then we walk. Well, no, we actually did stop at that crystal booth, but that was, I mean, there's not even much to say about that, honestly. I don't think.
Yeah, there wasn't much to say. We thought we were gonna get a free reading.
Yeah,
and then
we were told that it was
chatted,
like, look at the crystals on the table, see like one resonates with you, and then the lady who was running the booth, she'll kind of look at the crystal that you got and look at your energy and give you some type of insight about why you chose this crystal, what it means, like. And we did that. We chose some crystals and we sat down. And actually, like, I really did feel like quite a lot of energy from the crystal, but
we should have just taken a picture and asked someone else.
There was not really much insight that ended up going along with that.
The only thing I remember is that she was like, how old are you guys? And then she complimented us and said that we looked like we were in our early 20s.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay. I got something out of this.
Yeah, no, it was nice. She was really sweet.
Yeah, no, they were really nice. They were really, Australian, really nice.
Yeah.
So it was nice listening to their accents.
Yeah, I think
fun.
It was just not what we expected.
She pretty much was just like, oh, so what are you guys up to these days?
Yeah, she just really asked us questions about like what's going on, like what we're doing, and she was like, "Okay, I think that's all I need to say." It's like, wait, did you say anything? Because I think we did most of the talking.
We go back. Did we miss something that you said? Yeah, I wonder now, thinking about it, I'm wondering if she even knew that that's what her partner was setting her up to do. Because we sat down and we're like, we're kind of like quiet because we're waiting for her to start the session, basically. We're waiting for her to start like the energy reading. And she's like, so, she's like, like, are you guys are friends? Like, and we're like, yep.
She did say that our energy is connected or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. And then we walked along.
The next thing that I think we stopped at was like we were trying this mushroom coffee thing, and then someone I don't think he wasn't actually, we thought he was affiliated with the booth because he served us the coffee and was like telling us about it, but I don't think he actually was affiliated with it. And then we were just talking to him for a little bit, and like, you know, we said whatever, he was asking us about what we do and everything else, and then we told him that we have this podcast together, and he then was like, oh, this is, I can't remember her name, this is her booth, and they want you on their podcast. And like he was saying all this stuff as he was introducing us to her. And he was really sweet too. Like, you know, he was really sweet and the lady was really sweet, but we were like, wait, what?
Yeah, literally, we were like, oh, wait, we're not accepting any guests at the moment.
Accepting guests.
Yeah.
We're not quite ready for that.
Yeah, we're not quite ready. But the mushroom tea,
the tea was really good, actually.
It was really good.
And actually, the I don't remember the name of it, but the thing was really cool because it wasn't just about this tea. It was like really building a community. She was really about building a community, which was really fun and cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I think that was the piece of all of the like vendors were really trying to create like an inclusive space, you know?
Yeah.
And like I feel like a lot of like the goal was literally to like create a community so people like resonated with their message and that they attracted like, you know, even customers that were like-minded and tried to connect them in some way. Mm-hmm. So that was really lovely. I think that part made it feel like less, I guess, salesy.
Yeah.
And then we walked along. The next one that I'm thinking of is the lymphatic, the chi machine.
Yeah.
And that guy was funny. He was
was
cracking
really
jokes
funny.
left and right.
He really was. He couldn't
Yeah.
stop. Like
Yeah, he
every
couldn't
single
stop.
thing that he said, he wanted it to be a joke and like
Yeah.
he like wanted the reaction also.
Yeah, I was like,
'Cause
at one
he
point I
was
was like, I
like-
can't give it to
Yeah,
you
and he would
anymore.
like say something and then he would look over and like he was like waiting for you to like and then he's like, oh, she saw it, she heard it, did she like I was like, oh gosh, Mr.
Oh my
Miyagi.
God.
He's the only one who I remember his name because
That's
like he
that was
actually
his name.
introduced himself by name. Yeah, and like
He said,
and-
"My name is
and-
Mr. Miyagi."
Yeah, and he had a name tag, and he's like, "See, Mr. Miyagi." And
Have you ever watched that movie?
yeah, The Karate Kid.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
And he says he does classes in Santa Monica on the beach.
"Oh, that's cool."
I'm pretty sure he
I
said he
missed all this.
brought. You were shaking.
Oh, I was
I'm
occupied.
pretty sure he said that he brings those machines out onto the beach. I'm not sure, but he was
They're
like,
waterproof.
no, just on the sand.
Yeah.
But I'm trying. Like, I think he said, I might be messing this up, but like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, oh, that's why we've never seen you out there. And he's like, well, you can't wake up at 5. Can you wake up at 6? And I was like, I can.
Does he do that so he doesn't get in trouble with it?
But like other people bring their machines out. Like people bring the bikes. We see the bikes out there, the spin bikes.
Yeah,
you know?
in Santa Monica.
In Santa Monica, yeah.
Oh my God, I love it because it reminds me of like how they make fun of spin like in movies and stuff. Like they're out on the beach and there's like 2 rows and then there's the instructor who's like also cycling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like cycling.
Yeah.
And he's like, come on, guys. Like, you didn't wake up at 6 a.m. for nothing. But I love it. I love when humans are sincere. It's like, wow, we live on this earth and we get to just do silly things. Like, I love it.
Go shake
But
our
yeah,
bodies on the beach.
I wonder if he has a permit for that.
Yeah, but do you think the other people do?
I don't know.
Like,
Maybe
I
it's
doubt
like a thing
it.
in Santa Monica where you're allowed to do that. Because I was thinking about that this morning. Like in Manhattan, there's
nothing like that.
there's
I
nothing
know.
like that out there. And I'm wondering if that's maybe just like a city law,
Yeah.
like ordinance that you can't have.
I know. I don't know. I mean,
a class out there or something.
yeah. I feel like every once in a while there is, but it's nothing like in Santa Monica when we go on
It's
the
everywhere.
weekends. It's like there's like 5 classes happening on Saturday morning. There's like a yoga class over here, the spinning class back there. There's something else, like whatever.
There's a lot of
it's
stuff
not like
going
that.
on.
But I didn't. I mean, it's different for the people who are bringing out machines, like the people who are bringing the bikes. But like the
Yeah,
yoga
that's
teacher,
true,
I doubt the
actually.
yoga teachers have a permit or like anything like that. They're
Right.
just like, bring your towel and set up near me.
Yeah, that's true. Because also the bikes, like that's a lot of
That's a lot.
effort and
That's a
work to
lot.
get those bikes are heavy.
Yeah, really heavy. And like
Yeah.
they have to have a
Didn't
big
think about
car to
that.
transport them or a truck trailer or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how
Now we're
how
getting
that
into the
works, but I
logistics.
thought,
You're like,
I don't
how
know
does
that works. But
I don't even know. Yeah.
okay, then
And
I think
we're just like following the path. I'm like,
yeah, we're
okay, and
following the
then-
path of where we went. Then we went to the other room. We didn't.
That's
we
where it
didn't
got
really.
weird.
That's where things started to get weirder.
It started to get a little weird.
Yeah.
But I think that's where some of like the food was.
Yeah.
But we walked past this one booth that the guy, so there was like 4 people at this booth and it was just like simple, and they had some books out and stuff. So the guy was like, was like, "Oh, come here, come here, come here. Like, let's here, come to our booth, come to our booth." And then Shaadi was like, "No, like we're good." And then I was like, "Okay, sure." And then we went over. So then, we went over to the booth, and basically we're like, I was like, "Okay, like what's going on here?" You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, Lauren was
what's
trying to get to the bottom of what this booth was about.
yeah. I was just trying to get
And
to
they
the bottom
weren't
of it.
really giving much.
They were not giving us any. They weren't giving much. And I was like, "So what's this booth about?" And then she was like, "Well, basically why don't you guys just open this book and just turn to a page and like just see, what resonates." And I'm like, "Ooh, fun," because I love like I love playing book fortune. I do that with my books back home, where I like literally will ask the universe a question and then flip open to a page.
Yeah.
And I always get a really good answer. So I was like, "Okay, cool." So we opened to a random page in this book, and the title of it said something along the lines of like thought, right? Like something
Yeah.
about thought or thinking.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my God, it's amazing," because I've definitely been overthinking. So what's it gonna tell me? Like it's gonna give me some great advice. And I'm like reading it. I don't know, what was your experience? Because I literally like none of the words were penetrating my brain. I was like, "What is this saying?"
Yeah, I'm not sure because like I can't remember right now
Okay.
what I read, but I don't remember like if at the time because I was already checked out. Like I was like, I
Mm.
know that I'm not that into what's going on here. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm not feeling it. So I'm not sure if the words even like I did look at the book. I looked at the page and I did read a little bit of it, but I'm not sure if it even got into my brain
Yeah.
or if it was the same experience as you where I read it and it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah. I was trying really hard to give him the benefit of the doubt, and it just did not work. I should have just followed Shaadi. Yeah. Basically, I was trying to read it. I didn't understand dilly squat. I was trying way too hard to be philosophical or something, and I just needed it to, tell
Yeah,
me,
break it down.
break it down, whatever. And then I looked at her because she's just like, I guess like while we're reading it, and then I looked at her like,
Yeah, she thought like we
"So."
were gonna like be amazed by this thing that we just read and be like, sign
Yeah.
us up.
Yeah, and I just looked at her like, "So now what?" So now what do we do? But instead I was kind of like, "So are you like selling these books, or like let's get the
Yeah,
let's get the
what's
sales
happening
pitch over
here?
with so I can say no and walk away." And so she's like, "Yeah, well, we have like these books and we're basically," and then she goes into the intention behind their organization, which I also didn't understand.
Yeah.
And that is not a good, I should have gave her some like marketing
Some
tips
feedback.
because
Yeah.
the sales pitch was lacking. I
The
was
sales
like,
pitch was lacking. The vibe was severely lacking at the table.
everything was just
It was
lacking. Yeah. And we were like,
yeah.
did you understand what she was saying when she was telling us like
At
what the book
yeah.
was about?
No. I didn't understand what she said, what the book was about, but she did say something about like we all need to come together to save humanity or something like
Okay.
that.
She said something.
Something like it was really important.
Yeah, basically, that's the only thing that I remember within that. It was like, we need to come together to save humanity. I'm like, okay, how?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, like everyone coming together, that seems good, but it seemed like it was in a scary way. Like something bad is gonna happen, and if we don't come
Yes.
together right now, it's like,
Yes.
and I was like, whoa, I don't know.
Yes, exactly. And that's why I was vibing with the cult at the first booth.
Yeah, they were more relaxed and happy.
They were more chill. I was like,
They were like,
okay.
things are good. We just listen to this guy chant every day and sit under this metal pyramid, and we're chilling with our crystals.
I could vibe so much more with that cult because they
Yeah,
were like, okay, we're
totally.
helping you like move this energy, and like, yeah, we're all about peace and
Yeah.
love. I'm like, all right, cool, like sign me up. But this cult, no, we were like, Oh, this seems fear-based,
Yeah.
and that's how you know, like, that's what you think of when you think of a cult, you know? Like, you
Yeah.
think of, like, okay, there's people that are kind of trapped in this situation, or, like, there's a lot of fear-mongering, but, like, if you're just a community of people that are trying to, like, bring more love and light just by being you, okay, then
Yeah.
that's cool, you know? But Shadi was, like, definitely picking up on more, like, actually kinda scary vibes, and then after we
Yeah.
walked away, I was like, "Wait." It took me a sec. It took me a sec
Yeah.
to clue in, to clue in. So, basically, she tells us that they're trying to, yeah, come together to, like, save humanity, and I was like, "Okay, like, how by reading this book? Like, just do you read the
Yeah.
book and then you're
Yeah,
helping
she
or
really didn't give
what?"
us any
She
information
didn't give us
other
any
than
information.
we better get it together. Everybody better get together quick.
Yeah, and yeah, so there wasn't a lot of insight. Maybe that they thought that that was the hook, but it wasn't the hook. It was
Yeah,
kind
it
of,
wasn't the
yeah, it
hook.
wasn't the hook.
It
It
didn't
wasn't the
hook
hook.
us.
Yeah, it didn't hook us. And then the woman that was sitting next to her, like, genuinely looked, like, not happy. Like, she was kinda like this, like she was kinda scared, and then that's when like, when we walked away, and we talked about this yesterday, like, should we have said something? Like, should we have
Yeah,
done
like,
something,
ask
like, or,
them.
like, asked, or maybe even told maybe the organizers or something, or the people, like, at the front desk, like, "Hey, we think something sus is going on." So at least we said something. I don't
I don't know. It's
know.
really hard to tell. People just might be in a weird mood or
That's
whatever else
true.
too.
That's true.
It's
You don't wanna,
like,
like, accuse.
yeah, because I'm sure I've looked like that sometimes. Like, honestly, like, I swear. Like, my friend one time I was just like at a friend's house. My friend was leaving and she's like, "Shaadi, you look overwhelmed." And I was like, "Yeah, I feel overwhelmed right now.
Oh
I
my
should probably
gosh.
go home."
That is so funny.
Um,
I know that's true. Maybe she was just, like, had
yeah, I
had,
mean,
like, a bad
honestly,
egg
it could
roll
have
or
been
something.
nothing. Um,
Okay, well, we're sending light to
yeah,
that
we were sending love
woman.
to
We're
all of
sending,
them
yeah,
and
love.
everyone who was there.
And
Yeah.
then after that, we had to kill some time, I think. I don't even
No,
remember what
no,
else we
we
did.
we just needed a break. We sat
Yeah.
down. We needed a break.
Yeah, we needed a break. We needed a break. I was getting
I felt
pretty
like we had been
tired.
walking around for days at this point. We literally stopped at 4 booths or something. Like
Yeah, there was, like, a lot of energy exchange,
yeah,
like, a lot of
there was a
interaction.
lot. I mean, it was definitely a lot going on, even though we did only stop and not maybe that many booths, but um yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
but
was
then we just, like,
interesting.
needed a little break, and then after that, we went to get a snack,
Yeah.
and then we went to Marlu Harris's, workshop where we did a
Akashic
Akashic.
Records journey, which we've done with her before,
Mhm.
which was fun.
Yeah, and this one, there was so many people there
Yeah, there was a
in
lot of
the
people there.
workshop, so that was really cool. I was really
Yeah, that
happy
was
for
I
her.
was really happy for her too because she even said at the beginning of the workshop, like, she was just she obviously, of course, she got there before the people did, like because she's the one presenting. I feel
What
like
did she
that's pretty
say?
normal. She just said something about like, oh, when I got here, there weren't that many people in the room,
Oh.
but everyone, thank you everyone for coming,
But they
whatever.
also
Like,
moved her too
yeah,
to
they
that
moved her, and I
other.
think that's probably why there weren't people in the room, like, earlier because we had to walk all the way back down the hall, because she
Yeah.
was originally supposed to be in a different room.
But the
But
room was, like, pretty
it was
full, I mean,
packed.
once we got there, and then people were still, like, processing in after we got
I
there,
know,
so
that was actually something I still had a good time, like, a good experience with that meditation, but it's like they should, I feel like, close the doors after a certain point because
yeah,
the doors kept opening and stuff when we're kind of, like, in the middle of meditating, trying to go through this journey, and it was a little bit
distracting.
distracting.
But that was really cool. She, like, yeah, like Shawty said, we've done that before, so well, that one,
It was a little bit different
yeah,
because
it was a
that
little
one
bit
was
different.
in the EE system,
Mhm.
like, facility, but it
Yeah,
was
and this meditation, the one that we're talking about, that was, like, 40 minutes long.
I know you told me that after we woke up, and
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, I thought that was like 15 minutes. I don't know. I thought
Wow.
it was like pretty short. But yeah, basically, if you guys don't know what the Akashic records are, it's like a library that has a record of everything past, present, future that ever happened, every lifeline, everything. So you do a meditation, take a journey to the Akashic records, and she gives you an opportunity to ask questions, or like you're obviously in your meditation, but she's prompting you to like look, open your book and look through your records, ask if you have a question, if you want to know something, ask your guides, like
Mm.
that kind of stuff. And I think it's pretty fun. And I don't know, she's talking and she's saying stuff and she's kind of leading you through certain imagery and stuff. But I think I usually go with her imagery for a minute and then mine like bounces into
Yeah.
something different. It's fun because usually in my meditations and stuff, like I do visualize stuff for sure, but that's not always my focus. So it's just like fun to do little things like that where I'm being prompted to like see cool stuff, because then I feel like my mind goes with that and sees cool stuff.
I think it gives you like an opportunity to be creative.
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought it was also cool how she led us to the 3 different doors.
Yeah.
And most people who spoke after like went through the blue door.
I know.
That was cool.
That was so interesting. Yeah, because after she was asking people like certain, if anyone wanted to share their experience, which it is nice. I don't know. I always feel shy. Like I don't want to share my experience, but like I do like hearing other people's experiences,
Yeah.
But everyone who spoke said they went through the blue door, and I was like, Lauren, what door did you go through? And she said blue. I went through the blue door too. And I was like, did every person go through the blue door?
Like what? And I wonder why.
Our experience is connected. We're all meditating in the same room. Our energy is flowing with each other's. So maybe that was a collective decision to go through the blue door.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
I love that. Yeah, so we highly recommend Marlu Harris.
Yeah, she does, I think, semi-regular events like this. Or not like at the Conscious Life Expo, obviously, but like little Akashic Records journeys. That's one of the things that she does.
Yeah. I think I'm sure she has like a website and all that stuff to find all those things.
Yeah. But she's really sweet and really
talented.
Really,
yeah. So after we did that, then what did we do?
Then that was the end of my night.
Yeah.
But you stayed.
Yeah, I was still there for like another 2 hours. I was so exhausted by this point. But I think that's why I realized like, oh my God, that meditation was 40 minutes long because I wanted to get in line to my next workshop.
Oh, yeah.
Which it ended up being fine because I still was at the end of the line, but okay, let me tell you. I didn't say anything yet. So the next workshop was or speaker, was Bashar, who is this extraterrestrial being that's channeled, that's like that Daryl Inca is channeling. So he's like a speaker, and it was really popular. Apparently, like it had been sold out for a couple of months.
Yeah.
But luckily I got a ticket way in advance, I guess. Just like a regular ticket. So there's like VIP tickets.
Oh, there were. Wait, what did that get you?
Front row.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I was like literally in the very back row. But I like got in line. I was like chatting with this woman who came with like all of her children.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, that's so nice. They were literally staying at the hotel just for this Conscious Life Expo. And I was like,
where did they come from? Did you?
I think she said like Nebraska. I feel like I wanted to say like Omaha, Nebraska or something.
Wow.
Yeah, but she said that her sons like live in, her son lives in like Hollywood or something.
Oh, okay.
So they like came
did,
out
like a
and
combination trip.
Yeah,
visit
and
him
then
stuff.
he like came, and so her daughter got VIP and then saved her a spot. And then so she like
Oh, that's
was,
nice. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good
yeah,
way to do it.
yeah. Actually, wait, I take that back. She said that her daughter got a ticket and that the mom, for some reason, didn't get a ticket. And then they were talking about it in the elevator, and someone was literally like, "Oh, I have a ticket, but I'm not gonna go. Here, you can have my ticket." And she was like, "Oh my God, like that would be amazing." And so
Oh my
that's how she and her daughter
God.
ended up sitting like basically in the front rows. Isn't that really cool?
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
was
I
like,
love
wow,
that.
that worked out so perfectly.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Yeah," she's like, "Yeah, I was just, like, open to, anything happening this weekend." And
And it
yeah,
happened.
and it happened. So I was like, "Wow, that's really freaking cool. Like, give me some of your magic." Um, but yeah, so we like, waited in this line for a little bit of time, and then we, like, processed into this, like, bigger ballroom. I wanna say it's, like, a couple combined, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, there was like a good amount of people there. I would say at least like 100, maybe
Probably even more
more,
than
maybe like
that,
200. I don't
honestly.
know. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
why I even
yeah.
tried to
Yeah.
estimate that. But yeah, and then so Daryl, like he sits up on stage. I got a picture with him actually before that, and then he channels Bashar. And to be honest, I couldn't even tell you where Bashar is from. Like, I know that
Yeah.
there's, like, people who know a
Know
lot
all the
about, like, yeah,
details.
know, like, all the details. I'm sure there's, like, other videos where you can look that up. But basically, Daryl, this man, he's been channeling Bashar for like 20, 30 years for like a really long
Yeah,
time.
wow.
Yeah, so it was actually pretty amazing to see because he like gets up on stage and then he's just like, all right. See you later. Like Daryl's like, see you later. And
Oh,
then
he said that?
yeah,
He
he's like,
was
see you on the other side,
Yeah,
basically.
he seems super sweet and
Yeah, he
cute.
literally was
Daryl
like, he seems
does.
like such a
It's
like kind-hearted
Yeah,
person. And
really.
I know that he's had like some interviews and stuff on like Gaia Network, and I've seen him on like a podcast before. And he's like so calm, like his disposition is just like
Yeah.
very like calm, and then when he starts to channel Bashar, he's literally like, "Hello, how are you?" And it's just like so just yeah, a stark
You can tell
difference.
when it's Bashar.
Yeah, like you can literally tell. And like Bashar also is, I don't know if this is unusual for like channeling extraterrestrials. Again, I really don't know. I've only ever really seen like Bashar. But he makes a lot of jokes too.
Yeah.
So it's just like so funny because you're like, wait, what? But that whole like um speak workshop thingy lasted for like 2 hours. And at one point I was like, should I leave? But no, I stayed till the very end. And um yeah, it was like really insightful. I feel like there was so much that he said, but if you like watch Bashar, you know that basically his answer to everything is follow your passion and follow
Yeah.
your excitement. That's like basically the answer to everything. Like you have full control over like your reality. Because some people were asking like, oh, what if this person does this, or what if the person, and he's like, you're choosing your reality. Like follow your passion, like, lead with unconditional love. Like, and the thing, that's why I wanted to see him. That's why I like his message. Because to me, it's like I want everything to just be in one thing,
Yeah, yeah. One rule that
Like one
applies in
rule.
every single case.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't
Make it
know.
simple.
That's exactly. I'm like, just simplify it. When, a couple of years ago, I feel like I used to say like just dumb it down for me.
Yeah.
But it's like really just simplify it. I don't think that it needs to be how to live life in like abundance and love like needs to be that complicated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think it can. I think there's a potential to be really simple. And that's one of the things that he said too was like the universe runs off of simple physics. Because if anything, because if it were more like if it were more complicated, like it's very complex, like how the universe is structured, but if it was complicated, it would fall under its own weight. So it is very
Yeah.
simple. And that like really resonated with me because I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like this whole like it depends and there's conditions to all like no, just give me one rule
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
follow and I'll be good with that. But and I feel like we figured it out. That's love, right?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
so, yeah, his message to everything is basically just follow your passion and follow your excitement, which, yeah. But after I left that session and I was on my way home, I sent Shaadi a voice memo because I was like, he actually said something that maybe I haven't really like
That clarified something for
clarified.
you.
Yeah. It like clarified something for me within everything happening for a reason. So a lady like went up and asked him basically about how she could be like a better channel and that she's taking on like clients and I can't remember what the channeling was really, but it was, let's just say it was, like mediumship or something. And she was like,
Yeah.
how can I be a better medium and be of service to my clients to give them like the message that they need to hear and et cetera, et cetera. And he was like, well, what I heard from you is you're trying to be of service to people. And she's like, yes, like that is my goal. And he's like, so anything that you do beyond that, that was meant to happen, basically. Like you are of service to people just purely off of that intention because what you think
Mm.
may be a mistake or what you think like, oh, I should have said it this way because now reflecting on that, they might have needed to hear this or whatever. Like our mind
Yeah.
kicks in and says like, oh, well, I shouldn't have said that or they kind of reacted that way. So that might have been triggering or I could have worded
Mhm.
it better, whatever. And Bashar was basically saying like take the concept of everything happens for a reason at face value. Don't add your conditions to it. Don't add like any other it depends or maybe no.
Yeah.
Everything happens exactly as it should. So that word that you thought like, "Oh, I shouldn't have used that word," maybe that person needed to hear that
Yeah.
word, you
You thought you
know?
could have worded it better, but to them, that was the word that they needed to hear.
Yep. Yep. And also within that, he was like saying, okay, the example of channeling and, having a mediumship service. He's saying, even if you are, you sit down with the intention of giving someone a channeled session. If you sit down and give someone the intention of giving a channeled session and nothing comes up, you get no message and you're like, wow, I really messed up because like I should have done more. I should have practiced more. Like, why didn't anything come up? I didn't meditate enough beforehand. And he's like, operate off the assumption that they weren't meant to receive a message. The message literally could have just been stop seeking someone else's, like
Yeah.
stop seeking something outside of you and go within instead of like, trying to find someone
Mhm.
to tell you maybe what you think you need to hear.
Yeah.
And that was so powerful because I was like, damn, yeah. I put so many conditions on like, was it meant to happen that way,
Yeah.
And sometimes it is a hard pill to swallow because sometimes, like, things that are really shitty happen. And then I feel really shitty about it. And then it feels really hard to say, like, oh, well, it was meant to happen that way because maybe I hurt someone indirectly and whatever. My
Mhm.
intention was never to do that. But
Yeah.
the message was basically like, it happened exactly the way it should because you really don't know how someone else will take that or what path that they were meant to be on because they got, this out of you or they didn't get this out of you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that is a really powerful message because when you sent that to me, I was definitely like, whoa, I definitely put conditions on that. everything also. Like, I do think that everything happens for a reason, but I did this and it shouldn't have happened that way. And in
Yeah.
that case, that shouldn't have happened, or I shouldn't have done that. But no, everything happens as it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Like, and that's how it was supposed to be. And I think like what you're saying is true, because even things where I kind of feel like, I can take the example of me being mean to my siblings when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, when I was a kid, I didn't think as much of it, but I did hurt them. And then growing up, though, like, that taught me a big lesson. And it's like, yeah, if I am having a perfect world, I'd be like, that wouldn't have happened. And I wasn't supposed to
Yep.
do that. But I like learned from that. So like, yeah, it still feels weird to say like that was supposed to happen, because like I was supposed to be mean to them, but like I probably learned a lot more this way than not having that experience, you know, even though it's not like a picture perfect experience. Like, I might not ideally have made it that way, but that's how it was supposed to be.
Yeah, because really, like, the most growth comes from uncomfortable experiences, you know?
That's true.
And you can look back on them and be like, oh, okay, like if I didn't experience that, like I wouldn't have been the person that I am today. But of course, like, what's the saying? Hindsight is 2020.
Yeah, I think that is it.
You know, you can like look back on it and be like, okay, that made that I can appreciate how that person made those decisions in sincerity, you know, like this past me
Yeah.
really thought that that was like the best decision to make, and now that has really formed who I am today, or like my life today. And if we've all agreed before we got to this earth to have like a certain experience, like maybe I just have to trust that that was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Again, like I say this and I'm like, it's still a hard
It's
pill
still
to
hard.
swallow.
It's still hard in certain cases. And just saying like that was meant to happen when something not that nice happened, it just feels weird to say that. But there's also like a sense of relief, I guess, because there are certain things you can be like, okay, well, it had to happen that way for some reason. There was something that it had to happen that way. So like I can be at peace with how it unfolded.
Yeah, that's a much better perspective. Yeah. And it's a lot easier to like, I don't know, say that for yourself in your own journey, but when someone is struggling, like it doesn't feel like the nicest to be like, well, that was supposed to happen that way. Like you're like, okay, like F off.
Like I know, but you know, it does feel, I mean, like even just like our personal stories, like, yeah, did I love being depressed for a long time? Probably not. Didn't feel that great at the time, but like I am grateful for it now, because a lot of things wouldn't have happened if I didn't go through that.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. I feel the same way. I was literally reflecting on that on our like meditation this morning, because I feel the same way. Like as much as when you're in the moment, it feels never ending and it feels like this is such a huge challenge. Like why is this happening? But then after you're out of it and you can kind of look back on it, you're like, oh wow, that really taught me resilience. That taught me that these feelings don't last forever. I don't have to hold on to them. That's not me. And it helps you if you choose to see it that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of our experience. It was a mixed bag, but it was still fun. There were some highlights there.
Yeah. Overall,
honestly, Marlu's thing was the highlight for me. And I think, you know, if you're interested, check it out. But I will say probably the workshops and the talks are
the most valuable piece
like
of
the
that.
cooler stuff to go to than, I mean, I don't know, just in my opinion, but there was some cool stuff in the exhibits also. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so check it out. I think that it's a yearly thing, or maybe they do in other
Yeah, I think
cities.
that they, or I don't know. But
A yearly thing, maybe at least in LA.
I think they do it every year here, but like I don't know
At the
anything
Hilton
beyond
LAX.
that.
Yeah, so check it out online. My battery's about to die on this camera, so that is all from us.
Bye.
Have a great day. Bye.